Rahu. Rahu or North Node is planet in astrology. As we have other 7 planets, Rahu and Ketu are also called planets, but there is a difference, and that difference is they are the shadow planets. Now, what actually is Rahu? It is actually a point that causes eclipse. So its position depends upon relative positions of Sun and Moon with respect to ascendant, that is the Lagna, that is called Lagna in Vedic astrology or in Hindu astrology. So, where Rahu is sitting in the horoscope, that can be decided by the relative position of Sun and Moon in your horoscope. So, that will decide its sign and its house. Now, according to Hindu mythology, Rahu drank the nectar by cheating and so become immortal. Sun and Moon, who complained this cheating by Rahu to Lord Vishnu, became enemy to Rahu. Rahu is cut down to 2 halves by Lord Vishnu, and thus Rahu remains the head half and Ketu the tail. So Rahu is mind and Ketu without mind or mindless. Can you imagine a person without mindless? Yes, Ketu is mindless. It has just the body, that's just the tail. So Ketu, whenever it sits with any planet, it makes that planet also mindless, because you know, when an intelligent person and a mindless person is there, then obviously the mindless person is not going to be intelligent, but the intelligent person may lose his mind. So Ketu, whenever sits with planet, it destroys the signification of the planet and the houses. Now, Rahu is mind. It is a very intelligent mind. Rahu is the obsessions, the passion in our life that we cannot live without. So it being only point and shadow planets take the property of the planet with which it sits or the planet in which it resides. So if Rahu is in 5th house in your horoscope in Cancer sitting with Venus, then it will take the property of Venus. And if the 5th house Lord, that is Cancer, so the house in which the moon sits and also the house that Venus owns, so Rahu will take the properties of Venus and of moon. Why Venus? Because it sits with Venus. And why moon? Because it sits in the house of moon. Now, Rahu's moon Trikona house is Cancer. So, people think that, many of the astrologers think that the enemy of Rahu is moon, so Rahu will not work well in Cancer, but that is not the truth. Rahu works very well in Cancer because it is its moon Trikona shine. And its friends are Saturn, Mercury and Venus, and its enemy is Sun and Moon. It is a natural malefic planet, and it is known for cheating and faking. It is considered a Raja Yoga planet when it is in Kendras or Trikonas or in Sahaj Bhav, that is in the 11th house. It gives best result when it sits in benefic houses, that is in Kendras or Trikonas or in 11th house. And if it is conjunct a planet that is also benefic in lordship, it is also significator for marriage, and native marriage generally takes place in its operating periods and dasas. Rahu conjunct Jupiter gives Guru Chandal Yoga. So, if your Rahu's period is operating, get ready for marriage. Now, Rahu nature is similar to Saturn, except that it does not know any boundary, where Saturn works within rules and regulations. Rahu thinks himself as a king and of ultimate power and boundless craving. So, out of its cravings, it's become illogical. So, Rahu is not someone who will think that if I have to do this, if I have to achieve this thing, then whether it is legal or illegal or in what way I have to achieve it, it will not think. Even if there is a chance to get caught, it will not think. It will just think of its craving. That is Rahu. That is your obsessions in your life, without which you cannot live. Also, Rahu in 5th house, which is the house of intellect, makes one political and one who knows what is going behind the scenes without having factual knowledge. That is, it knows the hidden motives of others. So Rahu in 5th house knows the hidden motives of others. So beware of your any relatives whose Rahu is in 5th house. They will know what is going in your mind. Now Rahu behaves like a lords of the 12th and the 8th house and gives extreme addictions of physical nature and gratification of extreme sensual pleasures, and even that of drugs when conjunct a malefic planet by lordship such as the lord of 8th and the 12th house. So what is the nature of the lord of the 12th house and the 8th house? The lord of the 12th house and 8th house are lord of the 8th house, particularly it is a house of passion. Similarly, Rahu is a planet for passion. So Rahu behaves as a lord of the 8th house and also lord of the 12th house, which is a house of the bed comforts. And Rahu is a pleasure seeker. Now, a strong Rahu and a period of Rahu Mahadasha is very beneficial for attainment of power, materialism and extreme wealth. Rahu in the 3rd house gives extreme wealth but after much efforts, but in 11th with less efforts. Rahu conjunct with Venus is very good for extreme materialism and wealth and sensual pleasures. It also makes one diplomatic. Rahu with Jupiter makes one think out of box. But remember, Rahu with Jupiter also makes Guru Chandal Yoga. But you know, in today's age, thinking out of box is considered a positive thing. Now, Rahu with Moon makes one hide one's true feelings and even to self. So people, those who have Rahu with Moon, beware that they will never tell you their true feelings. and even they will cheat themselves because they even don't know what are their true feelings. Rahu conjunct Sun makes one extra proud and false and of false ego. Rahu conjunct Saturn makes one extreme intelligent and also a great manipulator and cheater. Rahu conjunct Jupiter or Sun makes one fake priest or fake astrologer. So when your Rahu period is operating, that you are having a Vimsotari Mahadasha of Rahu or Antardasha of Rahu, and at that time you should be aware of the fake astrologers and even priests, because Sun and Jupiter are significator for priests. So when you are having a Mahadasha or Antardasha, that is the period or sub period of Rahu, then because Rahu conjunct with Sun, they will produce fake priests. So beware of such uh, peoples when you are having a Rahu Mahadasha and Antardasha, and also when Rahu is conjuncting Sun or Jupiter in transit. That will be more so if in your birth chart Rahu is conjunct with Sun or Jupiter. Rahu works very well in Cancer, that is its Mool Trikona sign. In Taurus, that is its exaltation sign, and some people also, some astrologer also consider Gemini as its exaltation sign, and Virgo is its own sign. Now the keywords of Rahu are craving. You can note down these keywords: craving, ultimate power, seeking ultimate power. Rahu thinks himself as king, valor, cruel, gain of state or country or powers, cruel talk, a person who talks with cruelty, different in caste, that is foreigner, bones, lottery or bet, foreign country, stay in foreign places, dirty place, lie, cheating, low sight, travel, old age, maternal grandfather, and even dogs and crows, wind, cough disease, confused, tumor, ulcer, creatures that crawl like snake, and those who worships Durga goddess. So if you are a great devotees of Mata, then Rahu will always bless you and will not give malefic results, because Rahu signifies the worshippers of Durga. So worshippers of Mata always are given favor when Rahu comes into force. So Rahu will always bless you and not give malefic results if you are a worshipper of Mata. So be a worshipper of Mata if you want blessing from Rahu. And the gemstone, um, Rahu gemstone is Hesonite, which can only be weared if both in benefic houses and conjunct benefic planet in lordship. So Rahu gemstone is Hasonite, and it is only weird if it is both in benefic houses and conjunct benefic planet in lordship. So always be careful that when Rahu is in a benefic house, don't wear a Hasonite, that is a gemstone for Rahu. Only wear it when it is both in benefic houses and it is also conjunct with benefic planets by lordships. If it is conjunct by malefic planet by lordship and it is in benefic houses, then don't wear Hasonite, as it may uh, give you more harmful effect of the malefic planet, as it is conjunct to the malefic planet. So In contrast to the popular belief that people have that Rahu is a malefic, it gives only sorrows. Rahu is a very materialistic planet and it is a blessing in disguise. If it is well placed in your horoscope and in good houses and with conjunct with benefic planets and in good relationship with planet, it will produce the Raja Yoga. It will make you king for sure when its operating period will come. So stay tuned to my channel. It's Ram Raman channel 7 and obviously subscribe to get the latest videos. Just stay tuned.